an invocation by Councilman Henderson.
At this time, I want to defer the pledge only to Councilman Ledford, and I think he has some special guests in the audience this evening.
Thank you, Councilman Henderson. I appreciate that. I would like to welcome our Cub Scout Pack 3037, which at Wesley Memorial United Methodist, led by Jennifer Strand. And if you would you have your scouts come forward, please, and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? That would be our honor. And while they're doing that, I just want to recognize we have Carlos Bowman, Chapman Bernard, Charleston Foster. Did Dora make it? Yes, there you go. Hi, Dora. Elliot Buchanan, Evan Strand, Gavin Barnes, Jack Lanham, and Logan Davis representing their Cub Pack today, number 3037. I just want to make a note. This is in Councilwoman Burns' district, and she has asked me to please take over for her on these duties, and we would love for you to now take us to the Pledge of Allegiance, if you would, please. Very good. And I would like to make a special note that I believe this group is going on to the Boy Scouts in February. And would you like to tell us just 2 seconds about that?
Yes. So they're in the Arab Light. It's the highest rank that they can get in Cub Scouts. And in February, they will be crossing over. And this year, the Boy Scouts allowed girls into our pack. So we actually have Dora, and she is our first one that will cross over for Pack 3037 into the Boy Scouts.
Fantastic. We wish you all. Thank you all for coming tonight. You're going to see our council meeting, a little bit about your local government. This is our business meeting, so we'll move things rather quickly. But I'll have the honor to speak with you a little bit earlier about what we do. And with that, I'd like to turn it back to Councilman Henderson, and thank you for your year, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Ledford, and to our scouts. We appreciate you leading the pledge tonight. I'd like to read a verse of scripture this evening from Psalm 73, verse 26. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Would you bow with me in prayer, please? God, we prayed tonight for our strength to be renewed daily, to do the work that you have called us all to do. In your name we ask, amen.
Madam Clerk. Would you approve? Second.
Appreciate that.
Go ahead. Right now.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We have no special presentations, so, Madam Clerk, ordinances 5A. Got to read all those.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 309 Tremont Street and 330 Tucker Street, more particularly described herein from R3 residential zone and R4 special zone to ERA 2 zone for 330 Tucker Street, and from R3 residential zone and R4 special zone to ERM 3 zone for 309 Tremont, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Mitchell.
Move approval. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Repeat, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 5731 and 5739 Grove Road, 5959, 5967, 5971, and parts of 5931 and 5953, Winding Lane, more particularly described herein from R1 residential zone, R2 residential zone, and C2 convenience commercial zone to RTZ residential townhouse 0 lot line zone, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Henderson.
Mr. Chairman, this is in your district, passed on first reading last week. I move approval.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. See, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 2216, 2228, 2242, and 2252 Murray Lane, and part of 7608 Shalford Road, from R1 residential zone to R3 residential zone, subject to certain conditions.
Council Leopard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make an amendment, but I first need to get this on the floor, so I'll move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. I would like to amend the ordinance. Mr. City Attorney, are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, condition number 5, I'd like to strike, and I'd like to insert, all construction is limited to the site plan on this project, and any major adjustments must be approved by the Land Development Office.
Yes, sir.
And then I would like to add a further condition, this is also relating back to condition 3, which I think will further address some concerns about this project. No garages shall be constructed within 100 feet of any R1 or R4 zone properties.
Yes, sir.
And I understand, Mr. Chair, this will bring us back to first reading.
Yes, sir. So that amendment's in motion. On the motion, sir.
Yes, sir. That's the form of the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
No.
Got this one, Clark. Got the chance. All right, Councilman?
I'd like to move for approval with the amended conditions.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located in the 4900 block of Pattontown Road from R1 residential zone to C2 convenience commercial zone, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Leopard?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Read, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, Article 5, zone regulations, Division 16, Seaport Plan Commerce Center Zone, by deleting Section 38-252, maximum height structure in its entirety, and substituting in lieu thereof, and by adding a new Section 38-253, maximum building height deviation.
Councilman Leopard?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Yeah, please.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Chapter 6, Articles 4 and 5, coin-operated devices and family amusement centers.
Councilman Leopard?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, please.
An ordinance closing and reopening the 3600 block and 3700 block of Atchison Road, 3700 block of Travers Road, and an unopened alley in the 3600 block of Atchison Road to allow for continued development of a public park as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Okay, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a portion of the 1200 block of East 28th Street as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Byrd?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to ask for a deferral on this for 2 weeks. Had some discussion with CDOT and some residents. We need to have some more discussion about it, so I'd like to move 2 weeks.
Defer till October 2nd, Councilman.
Yes, sir.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for deferral till October 2nd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is no. Let's move to 7.
A resolution renaming the Chattanooga City Council building located at 1000 Lindsay Street to be known as the John P. Franklin Senior City Council Building.
Got a number of lights here. First one on is Councilman Gilbert.
Bird.
I thought you might be that, sir. Councilman Byrd.
It's with great honor and privilege to move to consent, to approve this resolution. And I would like to say hi to Councilman Duke Franklin and his sister and his family that are here today. Thank you guys so much for showing up. And thank you for
probably have some thirds and fourths up here. Mr. Franklin, it's always good to see you, sir. Would you care to come up and make a few comments, or?
Council, I'll defer to a later date. Thank you so very much.
Sounds good.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, sir, for being here. All right, I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilman. Madam Clerk, if you please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to Hamilton County for the conveyance of the city's interest in property located at 7123 Discovery Drive, tax map number 1300001.37, and Enterprise South Industrial Park for the site of Hamilton County Emergency Management Services Center.
Pleasure of the council.
Move for approval.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. Seat, please.
A resolution authorizing the activation of the Open Spaces Parks Animation and Community Enhancement Program for Miller Park, only for the cost of park rentals for organizations that meet the criteria set forth by Open Spaces for an amount not to exceed $50,000.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Much discussion was had last week and also today at 1:30. I think we're in a right mindset for what we're trying to do on this ordinance, but I think we have some I's to dot and some T's to cross. That I think the administration needs a little bit more time. It also discussed that one of our own council members, Anthony Byrd, Councilman Byrd, will be appointed to a committee that will kind of watch this and be able to report back to us, and I think that information is going to be vital. I was pretty vocal last week about it being strictly for Miller Park, and I think it should be for all parks, it should be for all citizens, it should be for everybody, not just limited to one geographic area. And I think that's one of the concerns that the administration took to heart and said, yes, we agree with you, was always the intent. I said, well, if it's going to be the intent, let's make it action. So I think this time will allow some of this to sift through, and if it's okay with the council, I would now like to move, we defer this 1 month to October 16th.
Got a motion to defer to the 16th. Is there a second?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to defer to the 16th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Seat, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a second agreement to exercise option to renew and substantially reform attached with Friends of the Zoo, Inc., with annual rent of $1 for an additional term of 3 years with no remaining options to renew.
Thank you. Councilman Gilbert, followed by Councilman Byrd.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. Seat, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic and Community Development to renew blanket contract number 545655 with the sole demolition contract for Tower Constructions for demolition services from September 25, 2018 through September 25, 2019 for an amount not to exceed $580,000.
Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to, I think move to approve at this point, because I'm gonna have to amend, I want to make an amendment. So move to approve to get it on the floor, and then, make an amendment.
Second.
All right, sir. What's your amendment?
Okay, in the amendment, I would like for Bill, if it can read, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic and Community Development to renew a blanket contract number 545655 with P&D Construction and Tower Construction for demolition services from September 25th, 2018 through September 25th, 2019 for an amount not to exceed $580,000.
In the form of a motion, sir?
Yes, sir.
Got a motion and a second for the amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. And then, sir?
Oh, and move as amended.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
A resolution approving a special justice permit for an existing building for a change in ownership located at 5012 Highway 58, Suite 108.
Councilman Gilbert.
Before I approve this, this is existing store currently, correct? It's chain ownership.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Who's approved?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Abstain.
Good night, clerk. G, please.
A resolution authorizing the Chattanooga Police Department to apply for and accept the Department of Justice OVC fiscal year 2018 law enforcement victim services grant to allow the police department to hire 2 crisis response advocates that will provide an in-the-field response to the officers from the department's neighborhood policing bureau for 3 years for a total amount of $450,000.
Councilman Henderson.
I think this will be much needed hires. I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. H, please.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 1 final for Instituform Technologies LLC of Orange, Tennessee relative to contract number W12-024201 sewer rehabilitation for Chattanooga Creek 4 Step Basin, a concept review project for a decreased amount of $148,769.66 to release the contingency amount of $105,000 for a revised contract amount not to exceed $1,104,830.64.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. I, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Transportation to enter into an agreement with Geocentric Consultants relative to contract number T18001801 for professional services associated with the geotechnical peer review of calculations and associated designs documents of the Upper River Forge Drive extension on Etna Mountain for an amount not to exceed $39,754.
Councilman Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a contract that the developers are providing the monetary amount for, so I move approval.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. J, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Transportation to enter into a partnership agreement with Noon Development LLC, project number T18001817 for the medical office building located at 901 Riverfront Parkway and to accept a contribution towards the cost of 6 pedestrian light poles, luminaires, conduits, and installations in the amount of $15,178.38.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. Kay, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Transportation to enter into a blanket contract with Wright Brothers Construction Company, Inc. for construction services associated with citywide resurfacing contract number T18006201 for 1 year with the option to renew for 2 additional 1-year periods for an amount not to exceed $3,393,382.30.
It's a pleasure of the council.
Move approval, sir.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Abstain.
All right, that's the last item on this agenda, which takes us to purchases. Ms. Woodard? Good evening.
Can you all hear me? I believe that we put these in order of their thickness this week, so I'm going to rearrange and read the same department's items together. First, on behalf of Public Works, we have a blanket contract renewal for security guard services to be awarded to SEI Inc. an estimated annual amount of $540,000. Next, on behalf of Public Works, we have chimney blanket contracts for special line and tank cleaning services to be awarded to First Universal Service Inc. and its second performance contract
Seeing no questions, what's the
Move
pleasure
to
of the
approve.
council?
Second.
On the motion in a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Council? That takes us to other business. Is there anybody with other business that would like to discuss this evening? Councilwoman Coonrod?
Thank you, Chair. On Saturday, September 22nd, there will be a walk for lupus. It's called Laps for Lupus, and it will be held at Blue Moose Hollow. The address is 874 West 9th Street. We're just getting together to make sure we're spreading awareness. We want to make sure that we're getting the word out to Congress that we need you to start funding more research opportunities to make sure that we can find a cure for lupus. So I invite you all to come out and participate in the walk run. It's a 5K walk run. If you're not able to participate, that's fine. Come out and just cheer the walkers and the runners on. If you would like to make a donation to the cause, you can go on to Eventbrite. Absolutely, and there's a space there for donations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I see no other lights. Mr. Attorney?
Yes, sir. We do have one transfer of ownership of the liquor store here that is located currently at Suite 108 5012 58. And just need to get the signatures on that document. Stickers. Actually, two people who joined.
So we both think so.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That takes us to committee reports. Councilmember?
Thank you, Jerry. We had a wonderful economic and community development meeting today, and we got information on the new request for a pilot for Ridgeway Apartments that is in District 7, Erskine Oaks District, and that was it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Coonrod?
No report.
Councilman Gilbert?
No report.
Councilman Lever?
Not till October 2nd, when our much anticipated planning is done, sir.
All right, Councilman Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did have a Public Works and Transportation meeting today. We will have another one next week and one the following week. The specific topic of next week's will be dockless scooters.
Yes, sir. Councilman Overton?
No report, sir.
Thank you. Councilman Gilbert?
Chair, do we need to announce about us time changing? Mention that out today.
Please, go ahead. That gives us enough notice.
On October 2nd, we are going to start meeting early. We will start at 4 o'clock for the National Night Out. We give an opportunity to see our constituents. That's a change.
All right, thank you, sir, I appreciate that. Seeing nothing further, Councilwoman Coonrod, I'm sorry.
Get to the recognition of the person. Because this issue, it came up last week. Questions were asked by Marie Mott, which is in the audience. City Attorney, if you don't mind sharing the information that we found out about the officer.
At least there was some request as to Officer Logan, is that what you were
Yes.
asking about? And Officer Logan is not reemployed at this point in time, nor is the criminal investigation completed.
I can't hear you. Can you repeat that in light?
The mics are.
I'm sorry, our microphone is down.
Okay.
Officer Logan is not reemployed at this point in time, or is not back at work anyway here. And the criminal investigation is still ongoing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, sir. All right, seeing no further lights, at that point in our agenda, we're recognition of persons wishing to address the council on non-agenda items. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to do so? Mr. Chairman, would you please read the rules?
Sure.
We can begin.
The City Council has adopted resolution number 28503, which is the rules of procedure. Those rules of procedure recognize members of the public on non-agenda items that may come forth. Each speaker that wants to address the council is supposed to come up to the microphone for the purpose of being recognized. You can address the council on matters within their authority, which are the legislative and judicial authorities that they have. Limit your remarks to 5 minutes. If you're going along unless permission Do not use any vulgar or obscene language as you're going along, and don't use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others. And the chair is prohibited from recognizing anyone or any association who wants to speak to the council more than twice in a 30-day time period. At this point in time, we've only got two folks here. I think Ms. Mott and Mr. Dahl are the only two on the list right now that have spoken within the last 30 days.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
not on the list.
Ma'am, you are.
I should not be on the list.
Ms. Mott, I've got August 21st and September 4th that you spoke to the council. Do those
Is it twice per month, which that would be one time in September.
30-day period.
Ma'am, if you'd like to continue.
My name is Avery Gray. I am the mother.
Wasn't clap. Sorry. Just one moment, let's get the timer reset. Okay, I'm sorry, please.
My name is Avery Gray. I am the mother of the 14-year-old little girl that was drugged out of the car downtown by the hands of a city China police officer. And my concern, what I have to say today is, my daughter was sitting in the car, minding her own business, 14-year-old little girl, homeschooled, not unruly, good kid. Chandler police officers walked up to the window with a repo man. When they knew where that car was, they could have had the car. That's not the issue. Don't pick your phones up, because you all should know this law, and I'm not being disrespectful, but Tennessee state law, police are not allowed to get involved in repossession or eviction. That's a civil matter. Now, if he'd came with a court order from a judge signed by a judge and handed it to that police officer, then that police officer had the right to tell my daughter to get out of the car. But he did not have a right to just walk up to that car and beat on that window and tell my daughter to get the F out the car. And I'm gonna tell you something, I know all of you have, some of you up here have children, or maybe all of you all have children. But I don't know if you know how it feels to come out of a building and your child is begging you to help them, crying hysterically, hyperventilating and everything, and her arms are all twisted up with handcuffs. You all don't know how that feels. I don't have a criminal background. None of my kids do. My daughter was taken to juvenile for resisting arrest. For what? For what? Because she didn't get out the car on his timing? She didn't move fast enough for him? So basically, if I was out there in the parking lot and I grabbed my daughter out that car like he grabbed my daughter, I went to jail for domestic assault. If I'd have left my daughter in the car with it raining, with the windows up, with no keys, without the AC on, which it still gets warm even though it's raining, that's child neglect. I would have went to jail for child neglect for leaving her in the car like that. So I raised my kids. All my kids know how to drive. My dad told me I drove when I was 10. I taught them how to drive when they were 10 years old. I always told them, if you don't want to go in a place with me, one of y'all needs to sit behind the wheel of the car. So if a stranger comes up, at least you know how to pull off and get away from that person. I was parked in a handicap with a handicap placard. It's 10 days. So this tow truck pulls up in front of my car, wanting the car. And Officer Wright wants to reach inside the car, turn the car off, grab the keys, and hand it to the repo man. Then my daughter tells him that she's trying to get my I couldn't take my stuff into the jail, so she was trying to get my purse and my wallet and stuff. And then the month before, I just buried my father. So that's why y'all haven't heard from me. Because I was really close with my dad, so I've been grieving my father really bad. She asked him, could she just get her stuff out? Which was my father's medical record and his death certificate in the folder in the back seat. That's why she was asking, could she get the stuff out? Why was it so hard for him to just let her get the stuff and just get out the car? Or why was it hard when she told him several times, she's only 14, can you please go inside and get my mother? Why, all I want to know is why. Does anybody have that answer? Can any of y'all answer that question for me? Why this officer could not come inside and get me her mother, her guardian, and deal with me. Why are you dealing with a 14-year-old child? Now, on my end, it has nothing to do with race, because my father's white, and he was a veteran, and my mother's black. And my father, if he was here today, he'd be standing up, he would be sitting right here. He'd be very upset. And this is my first time ever speaking in front of this many people, ever. But I know as a mother, I have to fight for my child. I have a son that's 21, went through high school, 4 years, played football for Hickson. Never, ever got a phone call. Was very spoke highly of. The staff, the coaches came to me and told me that my son was the most respected young man on the football team. Everyone looked up to him. I have a 17-year-old son, plays football for the same high school. Never been in trouble. My kids make all A's and B's. I want to know, why did my daughter deserve a 14-year-old child? It's bad enough turning on the TV and the radio and seeing it happen to adults, but now children? I think that every police officer needs to go through a mental evaluation every 6 months, because they go out here in the streets. I understand they're dealing with a lot. I'm not saying all officers are bad. I know a lot of officers on the police force, very good officers, black and white. I'm not saying all officers are bad. But we're talking about a police officer who was sitting in his vehicle, writing warrants on an unrelated incident. There was 2 female officers out there. If it was that big of a deal, why did he not just let the 2 female officers talk to my daughter, if it was that big of a deal? But you know what? Those 2 female officers, they didn't get involved. They just stood there and looked. One looked at the other, one was up there, and she was like, this is some BS. That's exactly what she said to the other. But one of the female officers jumped in when she seen how aggressive Officer Wright was to my daughter, and this other officer, I don't know his name. I'm going to have to get the police report because I don't know what his name is, who assisted him. Then I thought about it. Should I post this video on Facebook and let everyone see what the Chattanooga Police Department is doing to children now? And I thought about it. And I pressed the button on my phone and I posted it. It had 6.3 million views. I had people reach out to me all across the world, Germany, Canada, everywhere. I mean, I've had more people support me than against me. The police department released a statement 2 days later after my video. And they post on there, well, first when she went to juvenile resisting arrest, the first court date was an arraignment day. They said, no, Ms. Gray, your kid's never been in this system. It sounds like you're a very good mother, so I'm dismissing this case. When my daughter was arrested, I was told by the staff had to remove the cuffs off her because the officer did at the juvenile. The nurse had to put ice packs on her wrists. They were swollen and red, and the staff told me I needed to take her straight to Children's Emergency Room. So I had to pay a bond, extra money to get my daughter out of juvenile. And then I took her to Children's Emergency Room. Excuse me. And the doctor said, this is very unacceptable. He sprained both of my daughter's wrists. He's taking away her dreams in school. This is her freshman year in high school when she can't play basketball. She has to go to physical therapy twice a week, so I have to work that into my schedule. She has knots up both arms. The physical therapist trying to fix. My daughter's wrists were blue. My daughter went right in the front seat of the car. Every time she seen the police car, she'd be terrified. I couldn't get get her to come in here for nothing in the world. All I want to know is why did this officer break the law? Or why was it okay for him to break the law and do this to my child and was not disciplined immediately? I know you all said only 5 minutes, but please, out of respect, would you please give me more time? Thank you. I have showed my kids love and love my kids unconditionally and been the best mother I could possibly be to my children. My kids were the type of, my kids have gotten to visit 40 states, out of 50 states in the United States, my kids have been to 40. And that's because me and my husband chose to homeschool them and take them on the road with us, driving the truck. And I taught my kids to have respect. I never taught my kids to disrespect a police officer or their elders. They were not raised that way. I wasn't raised that way. I don't think you all really understand my story. I lost my dad unexpectedly. We didn't know that my father was going to pass. We didn't know, I don't even think he even knew he had a tumor on his lung, and it was lung cancer. People want to know why I haven't been seen or been silent. Because I've been grieving so bad for my dad. And I'm still grieving. And then on top of this happened to my daughter. My daughter, the school asked, I didn't want the school to know, the students to know, because students these days, they like to bully and they all have their own, in high school, you got all these different children and different races and, they're all thinking different things. So we don't want the kids at school to know that Kennedy was the one that this happened to downtown. I just don't understand why the police, there's a saying that my husband always said, with every action there's a reaction.
Law physics.
I've been pulled over before by a police officer. And because of their history, I was shaking so bad. Just because I was shaking, like I'm shaking now because I'm just nervous. He asked me, do you have any guns or drugs in the car? Why are you shaking? I said, I'm shaking because I don't know what you're going to do right now to me. I don't know how you're going to come at me. I don't know if you're going to pull your gun out on me. I don't know if you're going to tase me. I don't know what you're going to do. That's why I'm nervous. I was born and raised here in Chattanooga my whole life. And we have to be afraid to drive around. I have to get scared and terrified every time a police officer gets behind me because I don't know what they're going to do. When is it going to stop? It's going on around the world, but don't let it go on in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Somebody do something. It really needs to stop. It does not need to be, excuse me, it's just like, when a police officer pulls me over, of course he looks at me as being a black woman. I don't look at myself being a black woman. My father told me I was not black. And he told me I wasn't white. He told me if I was black, I have 2 black parents. If I was white, I have 2 white parents. My dad fought for me in this city his entire life because of racism. I moved from different schools in Chattanooga because of the racism. I moved to a black school, black kids pick on me because of my skin color or my hair. Moved to a white school, same thing. I got called Oreos, Zebras, and everything. My parents had to move me all over the city. Private school, so I went to Tennessee Temple too. I'm not saying it just happened to black men or in the black community. My father's white, he was slammed face first by a Chattanooga police officer. Back when I was a little girl, they shipped his too. But when is the racism gonna stop in Chattanooga, Tennessee? That's what I wanna know. Had there been a white little girl, 14-year-old white little girl, would Officer Wright have grabbed her out of the car and drug her out and injured her the way he injured my daughter? I don't think so. I don't think he would do so. I really don't. I just pray that you all will do something about these police officers. I'm not gonna be quiet, I'm gonna fight for my daughter to the end. I'm gonna do it peacefully, I'm not a violent person. But I have to do what's right for her and get justice for my daughter. Because she didn't deserve this. Thank you.
Ms. Gray. Ms. Gray, do you mind? Councilwoman, I'm sorry, I didn't see your line. Well, I was gonna speak.
Ms. Gray, thank you for coming to council. And if I have kids, and I'll admit, and it's not a secret that I have struggled with the police department myself. And it's for actions, or, allegations such as this, that unnerves me to no end. I sympathize with you and empathize with you. And my running the police department has not been all the way great in itself. So I understand exactly how you feel, understand what you're going through, and it's not acceptable the way that your daughter was treated, it was treated in that way. I don't know the answers as to why the police officer didn't go into the jail facility or wherever you may have been to make sure that you come and make sure your daughter was okay. But we do have Officer Tucker in the back. And maybe he can provide us with some answers as to why would he not go, and if this is against the law that an officer should not interfere with, a tow truck coming to get the car or whatever. And we need to look into those laws. So the city attorney, is that a law? Is that something what she's speaking about?
I don't know what the actions were, ma'am.
Tennessee state law says that.
Ma'am?
I can answer that question since
No,
you don't
ma'am,
know.
you are
So the city
Councilwoman
attorney,
Trina.
I can answer that
are
question.
you aware of this law? What Tennessee state law says?
He said he doesn't know, but I know the answer to that question.
So what, will you state what that is?
Ma'am, the Tennessee state law allows police officers to get involved if there is someone that is standing in a position in the roadway that there needs to be moved. In this case, the problem, I believe, is the fact that there was a 14-year-old who was not allowed to be able to drive a vehicle in the driver's seat at that point.
She wasn't
That was
driving.
She wasn't driving.
Police officers. And beyond that, I don't know the facts of this investigation here, where it's going. I don't know that there was, I don't know the facts regarding repossession of the car at this point in time either. So those are facts that will have to be brought out.
So, Officer Tucker, while for the answer to her question of why, you can let us know why she wasn't, sought after, no one in to get her to bring her outside. But outside of that, are we allowed to see this video footage while investigation is, because I would love to see the full video, not just the video that was on social media, but the body cam from the officer.
If there currently is a pending investigation, no, unless the chief releases it. And I think it would be under consultation with the city attorney. But usually under a pending investigation, it will be released afterwards, of course, public records at that point.
Okay, and will we be able to get the
And
officers?
to my knowledge, I believe it may have been released. I
My daughter was not driving at all. She was just sitting behind the wheel on looking at YouTube on her phone. I was parked in the handicap. I have a handicap placard and I'm parked in the handicap outside right now. She was not driving the car.
Officer, could you provide us with an answer to my question?
Ma'am?
My question.
Okay, if there is a pending internal affairs investigation, I can't make a comment on them. My understanding was one was filed, so that needs to go through the process, and I would encourage you to do that. Sounds like you have a lot of questions about the events, about the facts. That's why we have that process. We have 3 very good internal affairs investigators, very experienced in investigations. I think you will get some answers. And that's the course I would take at this point. So that we can better talk about this.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Now, Ms. Avery, I know you came down here about the police situation, but if you don't mind, afterwards, I would like to connect you with, Ms. Williams about some other resources available for you and your children. I don't want to say it out loud, it's not for the public, but to make sure that, you having the best life that you can have, we're gonna connect you with Ms. Williams for that, okay?
Thank you.
Councilman Byrd.
Yes. Ms. Graham, how you doing? We go way back, known each other for a long time. Empathy, definitely have that for you, and I want you to get justice. I want you to definitely understand too, and be able to articulate what you want to come out of this, and how do you want it to look for you and your family? What do you want to see? What does justice looks like? A lot of people come up here and speak for victims or people in these situations, and they say it's 2 sides to every story. When I was working for the court system, I remember if a man was sitting behind a car, even though he wasn't driving, but he was sitting in the car with the keys in the ignition and he's intoxicated, he can get charged with DUI because he's in possession of that car.
This is
So
a different situation.
it's a very different situation. So
She was not drinking.
I'm not
She was not driving.
I understand.
So what laws, where did the law, please tell me, Anthony, right now.
So my thing
Where is the law, where does it say in the Tennessee state law that she can't sit behind? First of all, she's 14,
Right.
and she qualifies for a hardship license to drive for me.
Is she,
Because I have a permanent disability in my back. But she wasn't driving.
she has
But
a
she
license?
could go get her hardship license if she wanted to, if I wanted her to have it.
Right. So let me
So
say
now
this.
she's 15, she turned 15 on September 9th. So she's getting her learners from me, so she's gonna be driving. But I don't think she wants to, she wants her permit, but she's not gonna drive. It'll probably be a long time before she drives. When she turns 16 by herself.
Let me tell you this. Me and you done had this conversation.
Yes, we had several
A lot of
conversations.
times. Several conversations.
And what did you say to me the last conversation we had?
Tell me what.
You all wanted to know, the city council wanted to know where Officer Wright was in the wrong. Did you not tell me that?
Me.
You told me that, right? You don't know where he was in the wrong, right?
I want to know where he was in the wrong.
Okay, where he was in the wrong at is that the Tennessee state law states, I'm gonna say it again, police officers are not supposed, if you call a police officer right now, you got someone staying at your house, you call a police to your house,
Mm-hmm.
and you say you want them out,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't get in there for a month or 2,
Mhm.
guess what? That police officer gonna say, sorry, you're gonna have civil court, we don't get in civil matters.
They will. Let me ask you this right here. And then to this something, have you talked to an attorney to file civil charges or to file criminal charges against this officer? You haven't hired legal counsel yet?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Have you filed internal affairs?
Yes, I did.
You have, okay. Good. And I think you need to seek some type of legal counsel to talk to you about the situation. And I appreciate that. And there's a lot of laws and rules that do play a part in what happened that day. And I hope that attorney will give you the satisfaction that you need in knowing, because a lot of times people will talk to you and tell you things that are untrue or use other situations to justify things happening in a different light. But like I said, we've had a lot of conversations, and my only thing was that if there was laws that were broken and our officers Chattanooga acted inappropriately or done something wrong to your daughter and was outside of the scope of law, I'm pretty sure everyone on this council, including his supervisors, want to see justice served. This is not where no one will turn a cold ear or back to you. Hey,
That's how I feel.
well, I'm telling you here now.
I'm just letting you know that's how I feel.
Okay,
I really feel like nobody cares.
okay. and
Like
you-
it's gonna be just swept under the rug and that's it.
Okay.
And forgotten about. No, my daughter's not gonna be forgotten about.
She shouldn't be, but I definitely want you to do your part. And anything you need from me, I'm pretty sure any council member on this, panel would definitely be here to help you. And it's never been a time where you have talked to me or said something to me, I've turned a deaf ear to you. So I want you to know that I'm not gonna continue to turn a deaf ear to you.
But I feel like you should have showed more support.
I gotta, and I feel like I gotta see the whole essence and see what the law is, because.
So you
every
haven't had enough time,
aspect of
Anthony?
What I've
Come on
seen-
now, Anthony.
Right.
You haven't had enough time now. We've been talking about this
So-
for several
Ms.
months.
Craig,
Oh, no, is it?
hang on, Councilman. If you,
I'm not arguing with him.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm not arguing.
Ms. Craig, I'm gonna jump in this, and mainly because I wanna say thank you for being here, and I don't want everything that you said this entire evening to this council in an argument over, it wasn't about that, it wasn't about that, it isn't this. It doesn't need to end that way, so let's.
No, we'll still continue to be friends.
I understand, I
Trust me,
understand.
it's not
I
arguing.
just, it's more for me, what you bring to this council in the evening and what you went through and feeling everything that you went through in the way that you can express it. That's what we need to be sure is always on our mind as we continue to ask the questions. As a matter of fact, it was asked earlier today by Councilwoman Coonrod about ongoing investigations. This has not been forgotten. I promise you it has not. And they will have to go through their process of investigating it. And depending on the outcome, it doesn't mean it'll be forgotten. Even, my daughter went to school with your son. I do have a daughter. He's the same age as your son. 1 year younger, actually. And no, I can't imagine coming out of the building and going through what you went through.
I have people ask
And
me, what type of, I'm sorry.
what you expressed, believe me, we are feeling up here the entire time we spoke. And we will ensure that your daughter, that yourself, everything you went through is not forgotten and swept under the rug. The investigation will take place. And we will make sure it is a thorough investigation, even if there are questions afterwards, which I hope there are not. But we won't forget. Promise. Thank you, Ms. Craig.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Good evening,
Ms.
council.
Mott, you spoke 4 weeks ago,
Sir,
that's inside of 30
What is the
days.
First Amendment of the Constitution, which is your
Ma'am.
sworn oath to uphold the Constitution, which is not to
That's-
abridge.
That's
My
right,
freedom of
and we
speech.
still have council rules, we've been over this so many times, and they
Council
say
rules do
twice
not
within
exceed the
30 days.
Constitution. So is our city ordinance, municipal ordinance above the Constitution? That is the first question, and that's the only
Ms.
question.
Mott, if you want to speak, I would love to hear you. If you want to speak afterwards, I would love to hear
I don't
you.
want to speak afterwards.
Well, I am charged with upholding the council rules, and as they exist
You
today
are
until,
also charged with upholding the Constitution.
and I am told legally, our council rules allow us to have 2
Legally by
speakers
who?
in 30
Someone who
days.
is not a council member, so either you're gonna have to
I
drag
would
me from up
say,
Sir, you're going to have to drag me from up here, so you might as well give me my freedom of speech, because you will have to drag me from up here.
I'll entertain a motion at this point, council.
Move to adjourn.
As the cowards we do, to abridge the freedom of speech of the members, of the, it's funny, isn't it? Bird, it's funny? Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, you didn't go down there with her to internal affairs, I did that, and you were the representative. Girl, what? I'm a grown woman. You didn't do that. You didn't do that, I did that.